Let me ask you something, honestly. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I know this already, so why am I still stuck? You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you understand the ideas, and yet your reactions don't change. Your patterns don't change. That's why the 7 habits of highly effective people still matters. This book was published more than 30 years ago, and yet it's still one of the best-selling personal development books in the world every year. Not because it's trendy, not because it promises fast results, but because it talks about something deeper. How humans actually change. In this video, I'm going to do 2 things very clearly. First, I'll walk you through what the 7 habits actually are. And second, I'll explain each one of them in real life terms, what it really means and how it shows up day to day and why it matters. This isn't about information. It's about internal change, the kind that actually sticks. Most personal development content focuses on behavior. What to do, what to say, how to optimize your routine. Stephen Covey takes a different approach. He says, if you don't change how you see the world, any change you make on the surface won't last. You don't have a productivity problem. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a perspective problem. And he says that once you see that, you can't unsee it. The 7 habits are not random tips. They move you through maturity. Stephen Covey describes 3 stages. Dependence, life happens to me. My mood and success depend on people or external circumstances. Independence, I take responsibility for my choices, my reactions, and my decisions. And interdependence, I can stand on my own and create meaningful results with others. So most people try to jump straight to interdependence without emotional independence. That's why it doesn't work. Habits 1, 2, 3 are private victories. Habits 4, 5, 6 are public victories. Habit 7 sustains everything. Now let's go through them one by one. Habit 1, be proactive. Being proactive doesn't mean positive all the time or pretending things don't affect you. It means you stop giving your emotional power away. Reactive people live like this. Someone ruins their day. A delay distracts their focus. A comment defines their mood. Proactive people, on the other side, still feel frustration or disappointment, but they pause before acting on it. They can ask themselves questions like, what's within my control right here, right now? And what isn't? This habit is the moment you stop saying, that's just how I am, and start saying, this is how I choose to respond. So empowering. Habit 2, begin with the end in mind. This habit is about direction. Without it, life becomes reactive and by default. We respond to emails, deadlines, other people's expectations. Stephen Covey asks us to step back and ask, what kind of person am I becoming if I keep on living like this? Not someday, now. This is why he talks about a personal mission statement. Not as something inspirational, but as a decision filter. When you know what matters most, decisions get simpler. Not easier, but simpler. Habit 3, put first things first. This is where most people agree intellectually and fail practically. The most important things in life rarely feel urgent. They whisper. Your health whispers. Until it breaks, then it screams. Your relationships whisper until resentment builds. Your inner alignment whispers until burnout hits. Reactive living means you only act when there's a crisis. You are like the firefighter of your life or at your job, as a friend of mine tells me all the time. This habit isn't about better planning. It's about having the courage to protect what matters, even when nothing is on fire. Up to this point, everything has been internal. And Stephen Covey is very clear. If you haven't mastered habits 1, 2, and 3, your relationships will reflect that instability. You can't fake inner alignment. That's why the next habits are different. Habit 4, think win-win. Thinking win-win is not about being nice. It's about rejecting the idea that life is a competition where someone must lose. Scarcity thinking shows up as control, manipulation, keeping score. Win-win thinking says, I won't succeed at the expense of others, and I won't accept outcomes where I am diminished either. This habit requires confidence and respect. Now, habit number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most people listen while waiting to talk. They're preparing their defense, their answer, explanation, their correction. Empathic listening means you temporarily suspend your own perspective. And this is to fully understand the other person's reality. Not to agree, but really to understand. Coaches do a lot of that in their work. And here's the paradox. When people feel understood, they lower their defenses. That's when real communication begins. Habit 6. Synergy is what happens when difference is no longer a threat. Instead of my way versus your way, it becomes, what can we create together that neither of us could do alone? This habit only works when trust and understanding really already exist. Without them, difference creates conflict. With them, it creates innovation. Habit 7, sharpen the saw. This habit protects everything. Sharpening the saw means you regularly renew yourself so you don't live in depletion, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, not as an indulgence, but as a responsibility. When we are on the edge of burnout, we don't make good decisions. We react, withdraw, and resent others or things. Renewal keeps us effective over decades, not just productive for a season or a few months or a few weeks. The reason this book has lasted so long is because it doesn't promise shortcuts. It teaches stability before success and character before strategy, principles, not pressure. You don't do the 7 habits, you practice them slowly, imperfectly, honestly. Tell me in the comments which habit feels hardest for you right now. And if you want more conversations like this, subscribe because we go deep here. Thank you for watching.